All right, so this video is kind of detailed and it may be a little bit lengthy. So make sure you've got your volume turned up so you can hear good. Now, here's a seventh grade math map that I've made, and you can see that it's made based on the Mississippi Unpacked standards. Now, what I want to show you is this. So I'm going in the map and I'm going to add an assessment. And when I do that, let's say I pick a standard like 7NS1A, okay? And then I do it based on the case assessment. Notice that there's only 40 total items I can pick from on this standard, okay? Here's what I want to show you. I'm going to go back to maps and I'm going to create me a new curriculum map. But instead of doing it based on the Mississippi standards, I'm going to do it based on the Common Core standards. So I'm going to call this 7th grade math, but notice I'm going to name it CCSS, standing for Common Core State Standards. Now, when I create this, here, instead of going down to Mississippi and choosing Unpacked, I'm going to keep it at the top where it says Common Core State Standards Traditional. And then I'm going to call it whatever class it is. And I'm going to create it. Now, just stick with me. I want you to see why. Because now if I go to maps, I've got two of them. I've got one map that's based on the Mississippi Unpacked standards. And I've got another 7th grade math based on the Common Core State standards. Now when I go to trackers, I want you to see last year when I was teaching the second period 7th grade math, I had assessed 99% of the standards. Okay? But right now, I'm going to make me a tracker based on this Common Core map. So I'm going to click right here where it says Create Tracker from Map. I'm going to call this also second period. And when it says Add Students, I'm going to say I want to copy students from the tracker that I've already got in second period. So it's a duplicate tracker, right? When I go to trackers, I've got two for the same class. But this one was created off of the Common Core State Standards. This one was created off of the Mississippi Curriculum Map. You can see right here, Mississippi Unpacked. Now, why does this matter? Well, when I go back to my maps, and instead of me choosing the Mississippi Unpacked, let me choose the Common Core State Standard map, and I'm going to add an assessment. And I'm going to use that same standard I used earlier, right? 7NS1A. But now notice, watch when I choose the case assessment. Remember before there were 40 items. Now there's 189 items I can pick from. Well, think why that would be, right? There's only one state of Mississippi. So when the company case makes items for Mississippi only, there's not going to be as many as 40-something states who are in the Common Core State Standards. So they're going to focus their energy, their time, their human resources, and their money on Common Core because it serves more states, right? So as a teacher, me knowing that, it opens up a whole bunch more items if I can create one map based on the Mississippi standards and a second map for the same subject based on the Common Core State Standards. But that's not enough. I can't just create maps for both. I got to also create trackers for both, right? So here I've got my second period tracker based on the Mississippi standards, and I've got my second period tracker based on the Common Core State Standards. Now notice, all the standards are duplicates, right? The Mississippi standards are no different from the Common Core standards. So if you can become a power user enough of Mastery Connect that you're able to understand that the questions are tied to the standard, so why not use both the Common Core and the Mississippi Unpacked? You open up a wider range of assessment items in both the Certica item bank and the case item bank. Now, they don't call it the Certica item bank, I don't think, anymore. Let me go. I think now they call it Navigate, right? So our district pays for two different item banks. Our district pays for the case item bank, which you saw there on this one standard, there are 189 questions. But our district also pays for the Certica Navigate item bank. And you can see there's another 190 questions for this one standard. So I've got 189 from one bank and 190 from the other based on the Common Core standards. But let's say I go back to just the Mississippi Unpacked map and I create an assessment. Let's see how many on that standard were in Certica. There were 190. Here it is. There were 190 in Certica off the Common Core. But based on the Mississippi, there's 137. So think about this. There's 40 in case, 137 in Certica, but when I'm looking at Common Core, there's 189 and 190. So if you're looking for more items, one way to get them is to create duplicate maps and duplicate trackers.